Hello and happy Monday to you. I'm student meteorologist Tevin Wooten.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
It is November 27th, a chilly start to November the 27th on a Monday here as we all came back from fall break. There was a chill in the air. Jennifer, you were out for a run today?
Yeah, I'm shedding off the turkey dinner going into this morning. But yeah, it was a little bit chilly. Around 40 degrees was our low for today. Some areas even saw lower than that.
Probably shedding off some of the layers too. I know when I woke up this morning it was a little bit cooler. I had to put on a light jacket, but then by the time we got to this afternoon, it felt fantastic. The sun was out, the skies were clear, and there was not a lot of moisture in the air either, so we were able to really not have to worry about sweating walking from class to class too.
Yeah, it felt a little more dry outside, especially with these lower dew points and lower humidity, so it certainly feels a little bit, a lot nicer outside.
A really good start to the beginning of the end here for this semester. We've only got 3 more weeks left in the semester, this week, next week, and then of course finals week. We've got a full show for you packed up today with a lot of great student meteorologists that will have a lot of forecasting not only for Tallahassee but the country as well. Maybe you're getting away for the weekend. We've also got that forecast coming up. But first, let's start with student meteorologist AJ Willie. He's got more on your overview.
Thanks, guys. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving break and a beautiful Monday morning for you out there. Currently around the Big Bend region, 59 degrees in Tallahassee, 75 down there in St. Mark's, and 60 and 58 down by the coast at Apalachicola and Carabel. Current dew points, it's a dry one out there. 41 degrees in Tallahassee, 50 and 49 down by the coast, 44 up in Valdosta. Those low dew points are what's keeping those dry, cool temperatures out there for us. The 24-hour dew point change, Tallahassee only down 1 degree. Bainbridge down 9 degrees, Thomasville down 9 degrees as well, Valdosta down 7 degrees. Those dew points going down from yesterday was due to a front that we had passed through yesterday. That is what's keeping those sunny skies out there, keeping our temperatures nice and cool. Our weather headlines for today: dry conditions are going to stay through the night, and we are going to see some warming continue throughout the week. And we're going to be tracking those late week showers as we continue on through the week. I'm going to send things back to the desk with Jennifer and Tevin.
All right, thank you so much, AJ. You talked about the cooler conditions we're experiencing now, and some other places across the country, Jennifer, experiencing some warmer conditions, leading to a lot less amounts of snowfall than they typically see.
Yeah, some locations such as Syracuse, New York, Marquette, Michigan, and other areas like Grand Fork, North Dakota, they actually haven't seen any rainfall this November, which is way below the average that they've seen, around 11 inches in some areas. Snowfall, my bad. Snowfall, not rainfall.
I was going to say, that would be
different kind of precipitation.
Yeah, that's right. But, you know, this is something interesting because Marquette, for example, is a place that usually experiences 119 inches of snowfall throughout the entire winter season. So from November, or fall and winter, so from November to, you know, what, March?
Even late spring.
Late spring, that's right, yeah.
Yes.
Usually they're racking up a lot of snowfall, and so far they've seen 0. A lot of goose eggs on the board for many of those places.
Yes.
And some of those places, too, you know, get tourism dollars off of ski resorts.
Yeah, ski resorts. So now they have to spend more money in order to use artificial snow in some of these areas. And, you know, with warm temperatures, it doesn't really work out that well for much of the tourism.
Either artificial snow or just not opening at all,
yes.
which could, you know, certainly do a lot of damage around Christmas time when a lot of people flock to these places to spend the time with their family for the holidays. Not quite headed there yet, or if they do head there, they're not skiing.
Yes, definitely in these areas. With these lower snowfall, not a lot of snowfall in these much of these areas like Syracuse, New York, and places like North Dakota.
So you're from South Florida.
Yes.
Have you ever seen snowfall before?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I have. I mean, you go to places like I go to New England sometimes and I see some snow there, but never in Florida.
Not in Florida. All right, well, I know we won't see any snowfall for the next few days or so. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current almanac right now. Yeah, not quite snowfall temperatures or anywhere near it, actually. You can see that we do have highs today. It says 67, but actually this is at about 69 degrees. The computer has not processed the data just yet, but almanacs, or climatologically speaking, usually we're right about average. 70 degrees is the high for this time of year. Right a little bit below that at 69. For the low, though, well below that because of the frontal boundary that we had come through. earlier on, or later in the weekend rather, just a few days ago. So we're able to clear things out, bring the temperatures on down, make for some dry conditions, but also cool conditions as well. We're looking at current conditions, already starting to see temperatures start to drop. 58 degrees for St. Mark's and 59 for Tallahassee, 56 for Monticello. Thomasville at a cool and mild 57 degrees. Relative humidity also fairly low right now. 28% humidity for St. Mark's, 70% for Monticello, and 51% for Tallahassee. So it is certainly mild out there. You don't have to worry about sweating, but notice down towards Perry, there were some higher amounts of humidity, and that's because of that frontal boundary that stalled out southwest of us, or southeast of us rather, down to central and southern Florida. So they will start to see some of the drier conditions, just quite not yet. But take a look at this map. Our next chance of rainfall comes from this frontal boundary right here, from the Four Corners all the way up to the Great Lakes. We might see a slight chance in rainfall as we get throughout the later part of the week, maybe into the weekend, but it's not looking like it's going to pack a huge punch as we go throughout Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, which is good news because Florida State has a rescheduled game that they're going to play. On satellite and radar right now, a dry sky for most of us here, actually all of us here in the Big Bend region, Tallahassee to Monticello and Thomasville, not experiencing a lot of cloud coverage. So we're talking about tonight's forecast. We say tonight might be at about 45. We could see things certainly start to cool down more than that, maybe into the lower 40s and not just the mid 40s for some spots. Yes, some low-lying areas might also hit that upper 39-degree mark too. We'll wait and see what happens as we go throughout the night. Tonight's forecast, though, will be mostly clear and dry, with winds out of the northeast at about 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow's outlook starting to warm things back up a little bit with 76-degree temperatures and mostly sunny conditions, heating back up. We'll say warming back up, not quite hot. You don't have to worry about sweating a lot because the atmosphere is a lot drier, and winds coming out of the east or northeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So we're also bringing in some of that coastal water that is a little bit cooler as well. Here's a look at your 5-day forecast. Tuesday and Wednesday, both highs in the mid to upper 70s with dry skies. By the time we get to Thursday, I mentioned that chance of rainfall from that next frontal boundary that's in the Great Lakes right now. We might start to see some precip chances as we get into the later parts of the week with temperatures at about 75 degrees. Friday into Saturday, though, the lower 70s with lows in the 50s. And with that, let's send things on over to student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
Thank you, Tevin. As we take a look at the southeast right now, we're seeing temperatures ranging all across the southeast. South Florida is seeing a little bit warm temperature, 76 degrees in Miami. Tallahassee here at 59 degrees currently, but a little bit cooler, 58 degrees in Atlanta. So they're seeing a little bit cooler temperatures along Georgia and Alabama. Dew points are really showing what this story of much of the southeast right now. A lot higher dew points along South Florida, like Miami and Key West. They're seeing a little bit more rainfall down there as well. But dew points here in Tallahassee, 41, which makes it feel a little bit more dry for our area. And certainly north of Tallahassee, they're seeing a lot more drier dew points, so it feels pretty dry if you walk outside the door in Atlanta right now. 24-hour dew point change shows this change in dew point. We're seeing a lot lower dew points for much of Tallahassee and north of Tallahassee as well. About a 5-degree dew point change in Montgomery, so it feels a little bit more drier when you walk outside. South Florida hasn't really seen much of a dew point change there, so they're seeing a little bit more moderate conditions along those areas. Satellite radar, we see a high pressure system dominating the southeast right now with that clockwise flow. In South Florida, like places like Miami and Key West, they're seeing a little bit more rainfall because of this cold front that kind of stalled out in that area, but much of the southeast is staying dry with these low dew points. 24-hour temperature change, we're seeing an increase in temperature along with this high pressure system, so places like Montgomery and Atlanta are seeing increase in temperature, whereas some places in South Florida not really seeing much of a temperature change from this time yesterday. As we take a look at current winds, we certainly see this clockwise rotation around this high pressure system that's in our southeast, about 12 miles per hour from the east in Orlando. Not much going on here in Tallahassee, but 5 miles per hour out of the east in New Orleans. So we're seeing a little bit of this clockwise flow around this high pressure system. Tonight's forecast, expect temperatures to be a little bit cooler here in Tallahassee, 45 degrees for Tallahassee, 62 for Orlando, and places north of Tallahassee could see temperatures in the high 30s, 39 degrees for Montgomery and 36 in northern Mississippi, and also 41 degrees for Atlanta as well. But tomorrow, we certainly will see these temperatures starting to warm back up for much of the southeast. 82 degrees with a slight rain chance for Miami, 79 degrees with partly cloudy skies in Orlando, 77 degrees here in Tallahassee with partly cloudy skies, and keeping the sunshine in the forecast for Atlanta at 66 degrees for northern Georgia and 71 degrees for Savannah, as we take things back over to the desk with Colleen and AJ.
Thank you, Jennifer. Now we're going to talk about some Florida State fun facts. Did you know that Florida State is the oldest institution in the state of Florida?
Well, I do now. Also, during the Civil War, the school was renamed by the Confederate legislature of the Florida Collegiate and Military Institute. Interesting.
Yeah. And Florida State actually started playing football back in the 1800s. They started, their first year was in 1899.
Wow.
And in 1904, they were declared the state champs after they beat Florida, which history seems to be repeating itself a decent amount after that game on Saturday as well.
Yes, 5 years now. We beat the Florida Gators. Now we are currently 5-6.
Yep, one more win and we're bowl eligible, so should be a good one this Saturday.
One more fact, in the 1960s and 1970s, FSU was known as Berkeley of the South due to racial student activities. Interesting.
I did not know that either.
This school definitely has a southern touch to it,
Yeah.
I believe, even though we're all the way up in the Panhandle.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that southern heritage down there, I suppose.
No, definitely. So Thanksgiving was just last week, and the cooler air is starting to come in. Now today we actually had below average temperatures, as the low was 40, and normally we're above average, so it's a little different.
Yep, starting to finally feel like winter, I suppose, down here in Florida. So now let's go ahead and send things back to the wall over there for a look at our local with Sydney.
Thanks, guys. So as Colleen was just talking about, we did notice we had a high temperature right on average at 70 degrees. And as for our low, we were slightly below that average of 45 degrees, but things definitely did feel a lot cooler because we aren't used to being below average this season so far. So current temperatures around the region are cooling off very nicely as we go into the night. 54 degrees in Monticello, 59 in Tallahassee, and our cool spot over here in Marianna at 62 degrees. So things are looking awesome as we take a look around the region with all those cool temperatures into our evening. Now look at these dew points. Marianna over there at 30 degrees, that is extremely dry. And looking at that 30 degrees, you really can see that you need to bring out the chapstick if you haven't already. Now we do notice Carabel and Apalachicola down there on the coast, they are seeing some higher dew points, and that is due to a little bit of wind coming in from the coast. Actually, that wind has shifted to coming in from the northwest, but it's only 1 mile an hour, so it's not really very gusty or causing much of an effect at all on them at this time. Now, Marianna also seeing a light variable wind, and most of the region really just calm as we go into our evening. Look at this radar really showing us that high pressure system that's dominating the region, dry skies above, and no rain really in sight for the rest of our night tonight. Now, tonight's forecast, 45 degrees, mostly clear, and as I said before, those dry skies are going to remain, and we will notice some clouds in upper levels, but not too much, and it's really going to allow the cooling to happen within our region. Light winds northeast at 5 miles an hour also for our night. Now into tomorrow, 76 degrees, things will be heating back up. And as Tevin said, it's not actually going to be hot, as some people may think, but I think 76 is pretty hot. So for some of us, it will be heating back up into the high 70s. Still remaining with those light winds northeast at 5 miles an hour. And looking into our 7-day, we'll notice that tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be basically a copy of each other, except those lows on Wednesday will be slightly higher. Now into Thursday, the 20% chance of rain is going to begin to occur, and 75 degrees with that low sticking around in the low 50s. And Friday and Saturday, those rain chances will remain in effect at 20%, and then lowering Saturday down to 10%. And we have the high temperatures in the low 70s. So 54 for our lows and 50 for our low on Saturday. Now we are going to take it over to, or we are going to take a look with with Megan at our national, but she is going to come out and let us know that there is not much rain in store for Tallahassee due to high pressure dominating the region, and that high pressure will remain in effect, and it will be causing the high pressure will be causing lack of rain, and the 20% chance of rain is occurring, but we're not really sure what's going to be happening as we go on. Megan, take it away.
Well, thanks for that strong introduction, Sydney. We're just going to take a look at our national conditions right now. Currently across the U.S., we see quite a coloring book. Temperature changes very drastic as you go down the country. 50 in Seattle, 44 in Salt Lake City, bringing it all the way down right here to Florida. We can see we get into 59 tonight in Tallahassee. Of course, the warm spot, Miami at 76. So very drastic temperature changes across the region. We can go ahead and see why that's happening. We see this front right here crossing over the northeastern and western United States. A lot of rain up here in Washington and Salt Lake City. They are expected to see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of precipitation as we move on through that front. We can see also this thing is not moving too quickly, so our rain chances are not going to come to Florida for at least several days. So we're going to be staying pretty dry down here in Tallahassee. Miami, though, is seeing the end of that frontal boundary. They're getting some moisture down there, but the middle of the country is staying very calm and quiet. Not a lot of weather, just very nice dry conditions throughout the central U.S. Our 24-hour temperature change, things were a lot different this time yesterday. We can see it warmed up a lot in the central U.S., 17 degrees warmer right now than it was yesterday in Memphis, 11 degrees warmer in Dallas, San Antonio, 8 degrees, Albuquerque, 11, Denver, 6, so things are warming up, Atlanta even 7 degrees, so country all over getting warmer. We can see current dew points right now, very scattered throughout the region. 34 in New Orleans, pretty dry because we have that high pressure sitting over the region, bringing us those dry conditions. San Antonio at 49. Phoenix and Albuquerque at 24. We do want to mention that we do have relatively low humidity in this Four Corners region over here right now. So that, along with some gusty winds, is bringing some fire chances to the Four Corners region right now. We want to keep an eye on that. Miami at 64. They had some rain precipitation, so they're a bit more muggy. Not as nice as we are right now in Tallahassee. We can go ahead and take a look at these watches and warnings. I will go here and explain that to you guys. Of course, what's relevant to Florida, these small craft advisories are going to be bringing us some wind and waves we can see over here in South Florida, but we do want to go ahead and take a look at central U.S. and these pink warnings. I'm so sorry. We're just going to go ahead and take a look at Kansas City. They have some warnings over there. So just across the country, we see a lot of different colors. Just make sure if you're in your region, you do take a look and be careful when you go outside. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, things are cooling off just a bit, especially in Tallahassee, getting down into the 40s. Albuquerque right there with us in the 40s. So cooling off tonight, welcome us into that December holiday spirit. We're almost there. Tomorrow's forecast looks beautiful for Tallahassee, 77 and sunny. Across the country, we see just a lot of sun. Salt Lake City, Denver, just a little bit of clouds, but the country looks really nice tomorrow. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We're going to send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Megan. Now, we do have some fun weather history for you guys at this desk. So
maybe not quite so fun for those in 1988. Snow and high winds created blizzard conditions in Minnesota. Wind gusted to about 63 miles an hour, which is certainly
that is crazy.
Well above blizzard criteria, because a lot of people say, oh, you know, it's snowing really hard and the wind's blowing, there must be a blizzard. Well, the National Weather Service defines a blizzard as with visibility less than a fourth of a mile, check. Winds blowing above 35 miles an hour, check. And we're blowing at 63 miles an hour. And then obviously the snowfall needs to fall for at least 3 hours in time. So if one of those 3 criteria are not met, then it's a winter storm warning or some sort of like blizzard warning, but not necessarily blizzard.
All this snowfall ranged up to 14 inches of rain. So, or sorry, all this snowfall range up to 14 inches of snow. So that's crazy. Tevin, have you ever been in a blizzard?
I have never been in a blizzard. I'm from Arkansas, but I'm one of those people that's like, oh, it's snowing and the wind's blowing, so there must be a blizzard outside. Yeah. But no, I have technically never been in a blizzard before.
Yeah.
What about you? You're from New York.
Yeah, I have in my childhood, I think 2 or 3 years ago, there was a blizzard while I was in my house, but since I haven't been upstate in a really long time, I really haven't experienced it in a while.
I think the worst blizzard-like conditions we get here are like, you know, hurricanes when the wind is wind is blowing and the rainfall is falling so hard.
Yeah, and anytime the wind is blowing like that, serious conditions can occur. Trees can fall, things like that can occur. So that's why he said this isn't that fun of weather history. But yeah, so we do notice that also in 1987, wet weather prevailed across much of the nation east of the Rockies. So sunny and cool weather dominated this area, and snow fell in the central U.S., with totals in Kansas ranging up to 6 inches at Burr Oak.
That's a lot of rain or a lot of snowfall. Wondering about snow in Florida. I don't think it's going to happen, but student meteorologist AJ Willie, do you have any snow in the forecast for us, AJ?
Yeah, for those snow lovers out there, I wouldn't get excited if you're living in Florida for the next couple of weeks or even months. Currently around Florida, Tallahassee sitting right at 59. It's going to be a beautiful night out there. Orlando, Tampa, a little bit warmer down there at 71 and 75 respectively. From that front earlier, West Palm Beach and Miami, they are a little warmer and they have been seeing some precipitation, as has Key West down there, sitting at 71 degrees. The 24-hour temperature change around Florida. As that front passed through, Miami did get warmer by 1 degree. West Palm Beach has not changed at all. Orlando got warmer by 1 degree, but you see this big change up here in Pensacola getting warmer by 7 degrees as to opposed to 24 hours yesterday. Current dew points around Florida, Miami, West Palm Beach, a little bit muggy down there. That is due to that front that passed through. Keeping the rain showers around down there, keeping it nice and muggy. Girls' hairs are going to be nice and frizzy. Orlando, right at 62 as well. Tampa is a little bit cooler, not as muggy down there. And we're seeing beautiful dry conditions up in Tallahassee and Pensacola. The radar, we don't have much up here in Tallahassee, much at all up in the northern part of Florida. But if I move to my right over here, we can see that these rain showers are sticking around down here in Miami, off the coast over there in the Bahamas as well. That was due to the front that passed through, and it looks like it's pretty much stalled out down around the southern part of the state. That is what's keeping those rain showers around. Current winds. We can see that the current winds are reflective of that high pressure system that is sticking around. Pensacola sitting over here at 5 degrees out of the northeast, and Jacksonville at 5 degrees out of the northeast as well. If we get down here around Fort Myers and West Palm Beach, they are sitting at 8 degrees out of the east. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Tonight's forecast, Tallahassee is going to be right at 45 degrees, Jacksonville at 51, Miami down there a little bit warmer. And tomorrow, it's going to be another beautiful day up in the northern part of the state. We are going to see some rain down in Miami and Key West, and their temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. So now I'm going to head over to the desk with Megan, and we are going to give you guys some interesting weather facts.
Absolutely. So weather in Tallahassee looks pretty mild, pretty nice, but the year's almost over. So we do have some weird weather events that happened in 2017. We want to go over a couple of those. I don't think any of them are in Tallahassee, but across the country we did see some weird events. So.
Yeah, earlier this year in Oklahoma, we actually, they saw temperatures of 99 degrees in February, and then 3 days later on Valentine's Day, they actually got 2 inches of snow.
Okay.
So that is pretty extreme, if you ask me.
And as a girl, I would be like, I just put all my winter clothes away, and I got to take them back out in 3 days.
That's
So,
pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and leave it at that. That was a pretty crazy event that happened and pretty brief, but we're going to send it back out to the wall with Colleen for some local weather.
Thanks, and if you're wondering tomorrow if it's going to be as sunny and beautiful as it was today, I have good news for you because sunny skies is in the forecast. Now it currently is 59 and oh so fine as the humidity remains at 51%. And now this high pressure is dominating the Carolinas, so that is the culprit reason for why we have such dry, beautiful air across the whole southeast region. And now Tampa did see a little bit of coastal showers, but for the most part, we saw clear, sunny skies today across the whole region. Now, usually when associated with a high pressure, it's a consistent forecast as we only have 1 degree temperature change, 6 in Valdosta. And as that high pressure remains for the next few days, we should see this consistent maybe warm up to the mid-70s for tomorrow's forecast. Now, the satellite radar, like I said, there is not a whole lot going on out there, as there is clear skies across the whole Big Bend region. Now, as we go into tonight, it's going to remain clear. Nothing's going to pop up or scare you, so you can leave the umbrellas at home tonight. Now, the current relative humidity, it's 51% in Tallahassee, 76% in Monticello, but as we get closer to the coast, Carabel is at 83% as that coastal air brings in a lot of that moisture air and increases the humidity. Now tonight, it's going to be mostly clear, dry, maybe not 40, but it will be around 45 with a slight northeast winds bringing in those dry airs from the inland. So it should be a great night tonight and for the next few nights. Now, as we go in tomorrow in Tallahassee, it's only expected to heat up a little bit to 76 as that high pressure will remain for the next few days. So we have beautiful skies in the forecast, so definitely take advantage of the beautiful weather coming up in Tallahassee. Now, as we look at the 7-day forecast, we have Tuesday clear, Wednesday clear, and as we get to Thursday, Friday, there is a boundary wanting to make its way through Thursday night, so cooling off the temperatures a little bit. Going to Friday, since that dry air is still aloft, there's only a slight 20% chance of rain. Now we're going to send it off to the desk with me and Megan.
Sending it off to yourself. There you go. So weather's looking pretty good in Tallahassee.
Yes, beautiful. I love going outside, walking my dog. The crisp, fresh air is really a great,
yeah, and that
great
smell
feeling.
of Christmas tree in the air lingering.
Yes,
the very holiday spirit.
The pumpkin latte is still a thing.
Oh, yeah. Got to get in the holiday spirit. Yeah, so weather's looking pretty good. We're going to pull up that 7 days so we can go ahead and take a look at what to expect. So actually all week we see nice conditions, peaking Thursday and Friday with those rain conditions, but only 20% right now, so it's not a big threat.
Yeah, we do have a lot of dry air aloft, so even if there is that moisture wanting to make its way in on Thursday night, it still should not generate a whole lot of big thunderstorms, maybe those pop-up showers, nothing too big to be concerned of, not the whole area being drained in rain.
Yeah, and talking about social media, follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter, twitter.com/FSU weather.
On our Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather.
As well as our YouTube. You can see us every night when we go live, youtube.com/FSU weather/live.
And of course, the gram at FSU weather.
Posting weather pics every day and updating our social media accounts all the time to stay up to date with you guys and current weather events.
And what's going on in Tallahassee.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us. I am student meteorologist Megan Berry.
And I am student meteorologist Colleen Peterson.
Have a great night.